Today we're chatting with Tina O'Dwyer, who is the founder and managing director of the tourism space and also the creator of the Super Six of Tourism paradigm. So, welcome, Tina,
Thanks, Mike. I'm delighted to be here.
and we're glad to see you again. It's been a while, and well, first of all, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the tourism space and your Super Six of Tourism paradigm?
Okay. Well, the tourism space is a small but growing business, but we're based in County Clare. It started in early 2017. It was just myself at that time. There's three of us now full time and three who work with us on an ongoing contract as well. So, what do we do? Really, I like to say it's an online platform for tourism businesses to connect, learn, and grow. So we offer an online membership community. We also do quite a lot of training, mentoring, and coaching for tourism businesses. And sometimes we do that directly with the businesses, and other times we do that on behalf of an agency like Fáilte Ireland or a county council or something like that. So it's always interesting. We work quite a lot with destinations as if you take destinations as a unit, so with lots of groups within the destination, and then with individuals as well.
Yeah. And your Super Six of Tourism.
Well, the Super Six, I call it the Super Six of better tourism to an extent. You'd be familiar, Mike, and lots of people as well with, there's a lot of conversation now around sustainability, regeneration. What does it mean? It means different things to different people, and it can be quite difficult for businesses and destinations to kind of move from, yeah, understanding what it is to, well, what do we actually do about it now? That we know what it is. And so I had spent a good number of years working with a group of businesses and agencies in the Burren and Cliffs of Moher Geopark, looking at exactly that question, about sustainable tourism. And it gets really complicated and the language gets really difficult. And what we created a code of practice at that time. And out of that, I created this paradigm, that kind of a paradigm to shift how we might think about tourism. As you know, a lot of tourism development is around chasing the numbers, and this kind of looks at all the other variables. So the six are in terms of what we would think about. Yes, running profitable businesses. That's absolutely essential to kind of continuity in a community. Making sure that the communities flourish as a result of tourism, empowering your visitors and providing kind of transformative experiences, thriving places, and that's the looking after the place, looking after the environment, using the resources responsibly, and that's what we would traditionally call sustainability, wastewater and energy. And then the idea of we're in it together, working together. So those six things, if we wear those as our set of lenses when we're thinking about tourism, it kind of shifts some of the decisions we make and shifts the conversation a little bit.
Great. Well, that's wonderful, Tina. I commend you and congratulate you for the wonderful work you're doing with uh, local businesses and international businesses on your weekly huddles that you
Mm.
have. And I guess if anyone would be interested in that, they should contact you uh,
Yeah, yeah,
to
absolutely.
join that weekly huddle. Um,
Yeah, just look up the tourismspace.com and everything is there. Yeah.
Oh, great. So, what's new in County Clare? I understand there's a lot of outdoor activities going on now at the moment, and people
Yeah,
are enjoying the sunshine and the beaches.
yeah,
Tell
yeah,
us
yeah.
about it.
Absolutely. Well, we've had a heat wave, as you might know, which is a rare enough occurrence in Ireland, and we had it in the middle of July. So that certainly brought everyone outdoors, and it actually got so hot it sent some of us back indoors, to get out of the heat. Yeah, it's been obviously we're having an outdoor summer, and it's been great. Clare is perfect for that. There's four or five blue flag beaches along the coast and lots of little undiscovered ones, and that has brought a lot of people to County Clare this year from around the rest of the country. So there's a huge buzz in the place right now. And I keep meeting people who kind of say they've never been here before, they haven't been here since they were a child, and they're really, really enjoying rediscovering it. So yeah, the beaches are a big draw, but also the outdoor spaces in general.
Well, that's great. Now, Tina, I understand you're living in Ennistimon, County Clare, and could you tell us a little bit about Ennistimon and the waterfalls there?
Yeah. I live just outside Ennistymon, just a couple of miles, and our business is located in the town of Ennistymon. So yeah, it's a beautiful little town. It's kind of the county town of this part of the county. It was originally a market town, where back in the day people would have come for the market, and it still has that flavor now. There's a horse fair every so often, and there's a farmers market every weekend, and it is known for its traditional shop fronts, the shops that used to have the family living above them. So it's a really pretty town. The Cascades is the name given to the River Ina flows through the town, and there's a really beautiful spot where the rock formations underneath mean there's this beautiful cascade of water. If it's raining, they're really powerful and thunderous, really, really lovely to see. And there's a hotel beautifully situated that looks out on those, and it's called the Falls Hotel. So anybody, it's a really popular hotel for this area as well. It's become kind of known. It's a town that's seen huge kind of momentum build up in the town, and at least the last 10 years or so. Some really lovely food outlets that opened up, quirky little shops, a lot of crafts, artisan artists in the one place. So as a place to stop off in, you could just get hours of getting lost in the shops, and then, having a good bite to eat in between. So it's really coming into its own right now.
Oh yes, it's wonderful, iconic village town.
Yeah,
Victoria and I, my wife Victoria and I, had stopped in Eugene's
yeah,
when we passed through there, and I know it's a great base for exploring the Burren and
yeah,
the coast and all. So it's a great central location.
yeah,
And the I noticed that Eugene's, the pub, uh, has a new front a lot. Each year, I've seen the owner out there painting Eugene's different
yeah.
shades and all. It's really a iconic Irish pub, and we had a
It
nice
is,
visit
yeah.
there with the owner. And I
Yeah,
also, I
yeah.
guess,
And a lot of the businesses, do invest in that, maintaining the shop fronts and keeping that vibrancy and color and freshness about the town, and it really does pay off.
yes. And I think across the street is Daly's, I believe, if I
Yeah,
recall. And
that's
then
right. Yeah.
And then when we were there, I know that this pub may be gone now, but there was a Healy's
Mm.
owned by a woman who, and that was up the street. And is uh, is Mrs. Healy still with us, or the pub still with us?
Was that the pub on the corner by the bridge?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Mrs. Healy. I didn't know her myself, but I know that pub has changed hands and has become a kind of a venue type pub with, again, a great food offering.
Oh,
So I think
nice. Oh,
yeah,
good.
it's
Good.
Hot
Why?
Duggins. It's called now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of venues, I know West Clare and County Clare itself are famous for Irish traditional music, uh, out in Doolin or Milltown, Malby, and other places on the coast there. I know there are a lot of festivals. So, are there any festivals coming up? Can you tell us a little bit more about the music tradition?
Yeah, I think probably Clare has rightly earned the title of, the traditional music capital of Ireland. A lot of people come specifically for the music. A lot of people live here for the music as well. That's why they're here and why they've moved. Doolin, yes, is particularly well known for that, and there's a number of pubs there that you're pretty much guaranteed you'll get live traditional music sessions day and night in Doolin, and that's a big attraction. But like you say, Lister Varna that's nearby would have that. Ballyvaughan, Kilfenora, the Cayley Band,
Yeah.
Miltown Malby, as you said, and right down to West Clare, right down towards Loop Head. So and Fecal, the Fecal Music Festival is a big one every year, and that's over in the east of the county. So really, right around the county, it's very much a living, live tradition. A lot of the kids learn music, play music, and they're coming up through like this. So yeah, it looks good for the future as well. It's very vibrant.
And I believe you can catch a ferry from Doolin out to the Aran Islands, and I understand they have a new, larger ferry now that makes the trip across the Inisheer in about 15 minutes or so. Can you tell
Yeah,
us?
I did it a couple of weeks ago during the heat wave, and it's just, yeah, it's fantastic. There's two ferry companies in Doolin, Doolin to Arran Ferries and the Doolin Ferry Company, and both of them run brilliant operations out of. There's a new pier there now, and both have these new fast boats. And not only do they get you there quicker, but they also reduce the fear of getting seasick. You know, they're just very steady on the water. And it makes the journey very, very pleasant. I think it's like 15, 20 minutes to Inisheer, which is the nearest island to Clare, and within an hour to Inishmore, which is further out. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's a great day trip. Yeah.
it is. It is. Well, we tried that once. We were in a B&B there in Doolin one year, and we were ready to go in the morning, but then the seas were a bit rough. But now, with I understand with the larger ferry, they'll have more sailings, I believe.
Yeah, they do have more sailings both directions each day. But also, the other thing we did when we went recently was on the way back, you have the option of doing a cruise along kind of the face of the
Oh,
Cliffs of
right.
Moher, if that makes sense. And that's just stunning. That's stunning. You know, everybody sees it from the top, but it's really just a totally different vista from the water.
Right.
And I'd recommend that as well. It's just a little add on to the trip, but well worth it.
And well, to finish up here, I was wondering if you could describe, in your opinion, what the top three things that County Clare is famous for, and then maybe go into what are some of the favorite things you enjoy doing yourself personally, your favorite places and favorite things to do yourself.
You know, it's very hard to narrow it down to three things for County Clare, but it reminds me when I was about 8 or 9, I got a present from my neighbour who had come on her holidays to Clare of a ruler. And along the front of it, there was a strip of, you know, things to do in Clare. It's a long time ago. And I think it's probably still famous for the same things. You know, it's like the Cliffs of Moher, the Burren, Bunratty Castle, Loophead Lighthouse, stuff like that. But actually, some of those things are still iconic, you know, and it's what Clare is known for. But I would say, you know, it's the understanding of what the county has to offer has become much, much wider in recent years. So I would think now it's very well known for the music, certainly for the landscape, but a very diverse landscape now. You know, that it's always been quite well known for the West Coast and the Atlantic and the Cliffs of Moher, but we're seeing really great destinations emerge in East Clare, which is all about the lakelands and the hills and very, very peaceful, serene type of place. The Shannon Estuary Way, which is along kind of the border with Limerick, but across the estuary is really, you know, emerging as a new destination, a totally different culture there based around the river. And Ennis itself, the county town, is a lovely place to visit. But I would say the Burren, which is my backyard and where I started in tourism for sure, that's been discovered by a lot more people in recent years, not just to look at, but really to immerse themselves and spend some time there. So I'd say now Clare is better, not better known, but if, you know, for your listeners who are thinking of coming, to spend time around the very well-known famous places and to, you know, get in like Ennistimon and Ballyvaughan, get into the places, meet the people. People are very welcoming here. There's a great food scene that has really developed. It was always here, but really developed in the last 10 years as well. Right throughout Clare, you'll find fantastic food. And that's a reputation it has earned as well in the last number of years. So
Yeah, I think of
yeah, it's
all
great.
the Ireland counties, Clare may have the most varied or most variety of destinations, most variety of places to visit, to see. There's the ancient sites of the
Yeah,
Burren, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce some of these ancient sites, but I know that you have everything from ancient sites to
yeah,
castles
yeah.
to charming towns. So it's a great destination. And there's one I'm going to put in a plug for the Alwee Caves.
Yes.
And Nuala, I think Nuala McQueenie.
Nuala Mulqueenie, yeah.
Yes, the Alwee Caves. Victoria and I visited there also. Went down a great tour. And but I remember asking Nuala once across the street there, right down the road a bit. There's a fairy ring, and it's kind of an undiscovered. The fairy rings, the fairy trees, those ancient myths, the ancient traditions can be, you kind of stumble upon them, and they're not
Yeah,
they're not commercialized, but they're there.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
just enjoy that so much, stumbling upon a place that has history and culture and traditions that you may be the only person there. So
yeah.
would you care to share one secret place with our viewers, to tell us your secret place you like to discover?
My secret place. Um, well, you've just reminded me, I can't remember the name of that fort, but I think the one you're speaking about is kind of just on the side of the road and you just hop in
Oh,
over a
yes.
ditch. And
Yep.
my uncle, who's no longer alive now, Christy Brown was his name, and he spent a long career as an agricultural advisor, but was never that thrilled with it. He always loved telling stories and heritage, and he took early retirement and he became a tour guide in County Clare really long before tour guides were a thing or tourism was a thing outside of the obvious. And he used to bring people to the burn and tell them stories of the burn in his van. And he brought me one day and he brought me to that fort and we walked around and it was like, I just felt, I remember being there and feeling exactly what you described, how privileged I was to know someone who knew all the heritage and how lucky we were to be there on our own. So
Yeah.
sometimes I do, he's not with us anymore, and sometimes I do drive past, and you can just pull in at the side of the road, and I hop in, and I stay there for a little while, and nobody would ever know you were there, and but yet there's thousands of people, thousands of years worth of, if this doesn't sound too lofty, of our people who've gone before us who know you're there, that kind of way. So
That's
it has that
wonderful.
kind of mysticism to it, yeah.
That's
So
true. And that's
you've just reminded me of it, really.
oh, yes. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's a very
Mm.
wonderful story and a personal story to share with us. And well, Tina, it's been great chatting with you. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy workday and to visit with us. And look forward to talking to you again. And perhaps we can do this again later this fall to catch up and get some updates on what's happening there in Clare. And
Yeah,
we can't
anytime, Mike.
yeah, we can't wait. I mean, we're desperate to come over there, and we're doing all we can to bring some groups. But we do have some groups lined up for next
Yeah,
June and July, and
brilliant.
we always stop in Clare. We start at Shannon in Clare, and we
Yeah.
finish in Shannon in Clare. But we always go to the Bunratty Castle Folk Park and visit there for a bit, and make our way out to the Cliffs of Moher also.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we can't wait to have you back and all the other visitors who want to come from stateside. As you know, we do meet every Monday evening, and that's the constant theme. We can't wait to welcome our visitors back. But thank you so much for having me, Mike. Really enjoyed chatting to you as well.
okay. Well, we'll see you again, and Gura Mahagat, Gura Mahagat,
Have fun, Sharoth.
and Mahu, Mahu, and
Thank you. Gurma Gutsa, Gurma Gutsa.
and